see quite a lot of news names today, so maybe you are not aware. I do have a one-pager kind of website which contain a lot of resources from the seller education team over here. So there is a lot of resources that you can download, also created by the seller university team together. So do bookmark this QR code. All right, so let me head on to start the session today. Okay, some important notice for you to take a quick read. Right, the next one is just for your info, we do have an official YouTube playlist that you can find at this handler at Amazon Global Selling. So do subscribe it so that whenever I release a new video, you can be notified of appearing in your feeds. Right, the other one is to share that you can actually ask questions directly. Right, this is a live webinar session. It's not pre-recorded. So if you have any question, let us know in the question box, usually on your right-hand side. All right, there's a question mark there that you can click on it to ask question. Right, last but not least, if you're watching the recording, please make sure you view the latest recording. If not, you should always refer to our Seller University or the Seller Central Help for the most updated online resources. Now, again, what you're watching right now is the Amazon Live webinar, right? And also we have a lot of free educational resources and one-pager guides that you can view online as well from the Seller University team. So together, Live Webinar and University, Seller University are both under the Amazon Seller Education team. Right, so you can see there's a lot of resources to help all new and existing sellers like yourself. Right, this is the agenda that we will be covering today. Right, to start off, I just want to share with you what exactly is this supply chain by Amazon. Right, you probably heard about it, over on the news, etc. So I'm just going to zoom in for you here. Right, so this whole end-to-end, right from the starting, where the factories and suppliers, etc., up to the end where it reaches the customer, right? Every touch point you can see is covered by the supply chain by Amazon. Right, so today we will be touching on the what we call the first mile logistic portion. You can see here. Right, so SEND actually stands for seller, export, and delivery. Okay, and then of course, in my other session, I do cover the other topic like AGL, the Amazon Global Logistic. Right, these are some of the Amazon programs to help you with your first mile delivery. Right, and then moving on, you can see how this will have a impact, or rather, how it can help you in terms of having send to actually send your inventory either to the Amazon warehousing and distribution center, right? Or you can send it directly to the fulfillment by Amazon using the FBA. You can send it to the fulfillment center, the FCs, right? And ultimately, when your customers bought anything, you'll be fulfilled by the FBA fulfillment by Amazon service. Right, I hope this gives you a good idea, how the supply chain by Amazon works. Right. Okay, so a quick overview. So sometimes you may see that it is also referred to as cross-border shipping partner program. All right, but the official name is what we call the seller export and delivery SEN. So like it says here, whereby sellers like yourself, you can send your goods from China right to the fulfillment center using some of the partner carrier provided. All right, and then providing you with a one-stop FBA first mile inbounding service, meaning that using Send, you can have your product, fulfilled by FBA ultimately. All right, so you can see some of the countries that is available to use this. Right. So most of you, I believe, would be the seller. Maybe like myself, you're from the Southeast Asia region, for example, Singapore. And then most of you, if you are sourcing from China, this will be very useful for you. Right. You can straight away from the China, you can use Send to actually ship your inventory to the US fulfillment center. Okay, so how this works is that you can take a look, right? Because it's all on the Seller Central, all right? The process is quite transparent for seller, all right? So in your usual, what we call the STA, the send to Amazon workflow, right? You'll be able to create a send shipment on the send to Amazon page, right? Then after that, you can either way, right? The seller, like yourself, will prepare the shipment that your partner carrier will receive it. Right, and then seller will prepare some of the documents that will be requested from you for the custom decoration. So step four, the product, your inventory will be shipped over. All right, and then when it reaches the destination, the partner carrier will handle the custom clearance for you. All right, and then step six, all right, depending on whether you're shipping to the AWD, Amazon Warehousing and Distribution Warehouses Center, or you're shipping directly to the Amazon Fulfillment Center, right? Right, some of the benefits over here we will be highlighting, the five key benefits of using Send. All right, let me just zoom in each and every one for you. Right, so you can see there is a consistent agreement, right, because the service is provided by partner carriers selected by Amazon with a 95% fulfillment rate. And then efficient operation, right? So if you are using your own option, your own delivery option, you may not have the so-called the integration that allows you to look at it, end to end. But with this, you'll be able to have integrated first mile warehousing process that you can actually keep track of it in the Seller Central, right? And also you are able to look at the cost upfront during the setting up of the sending your inventory, everything in Seller Central. All right. And yeah, like I mentioned, you'll be able to know the cost. So the cost will be made aware for you. So you are be able to know how much it's going to cost you. So if you're using some other services together with the Amazon Send, right, you'll be able to reduce some of your first mile logistic costs by about 5 to 20%, all right, depending, compared to some other options that you might have. So I guess one of the best part is really about the trackable and it's very transparent. You can view your status in the Seller Central, right? Because it's all integrated into the Amazon Seller Central, right? So things like shipment creation, labeling, tracking are all done in the Seller Central, right? So you don't have to log into like your different logistic partner website, etc. if you're using that. This is just a comparison table to share. Right, this is basically what I mentioned earlier on, right? So we did some comparison, right, with the non-integrated carrier. What are some of the potential challenges that you might have when you're using a non-integrated carrier, right? Right, you can read on the blue part, right? This is based on some of the feedback that we do hear from our seller that they might be spending too much time, trying to align with their logistic partner, right? And in terms of the pricing, if you're in sending a lesser number of inventory, you might not have the, I would say you might not have the flexibility to negotiate a better pricing and, cases like that, right? As well as the reliability and availability challenges that you, as a seller, they might face if they're using a non-integrated carrier. Right, this is more about the pricing wise. So I would say that as with all logistic, there is a lot of different factors that could affect the shipping price, etc. So, be sure to pay attention to the real-time rates, right? So the rates will be usually will be not usually, the rates will be there when you create a shipment using the Amazon Seller Central. All right, these are just the reference price. Right, so always make sure that you look at the price that is show up in the Seller Central. So here is more of a step-by-step guide to share with you where you can find, how can you actually do it. Right, very easy. For the step one, you just go into your inventory under the shipment option, in Seller Central, right? Then you'll be going to the send to Amazon. All right, this workflow will kickstart for you, right? The next step, you'll reach the send to Amazon page, right? So this is where you can select, right, over here. There's a step two on the STA send to Amazon workflow. You will see different option. Right, you can choose the Amazon partnered carrier. The send, it's very obvious. You will spell it SEND. All right. So then you will put in the shipping mode. Whichever that suits what you are going to ship in. Right, and then the pricing, as I mentioned earlier on, the pricing will be shown. Right, and then this is based on the pricing at the point of time where you're creating the shipment based on what you selected. Right, right. Once it's done on the following step, you can start to do the printing of the box label. Right, so they will guide you step by step through the workflow, so no worry. All right, right. The option for you to print will also appear as part of the flow. And then what's next? The instruction will tell you, how you're going to apply the FBA box ID label to each box, or just follow through their instructions given. All right. Now, assuming you have done all the labeling, etc., and then the carrier is going to pick up everything, you will be able to see under the shipping events the status. All right. So this is one of the good thing I like about as well. It's very transparent. You can see when you actually created a shipment, when it's in transit. You can see the tracking details, right, from each different step all the way until it reaches the fulfillment center or the AWD center, the warehousing and distribution center. All right. So you can also review your invoices, payment, etc. So let's say you want to look at how much you have actually paid in the past or whatever invoices that you actually paid for your shipment. You can go to the transaction view under the reports, right? And then just go to the report under payment, right? You'll be able to download and see a breakdown of the partner carrier fee, etc. Right? So there is what we call that the logs for you to keep track of all your transaction, all your fees, so you know what you are paying for and how much you are paying. All right. Just to share some of the quick question or the frequently asked question that we see. Right, so sometimes people may ask, is it the same for AGL and SEN, right? Or is it question like this? Can the same account use AGL and SEN at the same time? All right, same account meaning the same seller account, huh? So the answer is yes. Right, these two first mile logistic solutions or option will complement each other. Right, AGL and SEN, both of these are so-called the cross-border logistics services provided, all right, by AGL, which is the Amazon Global Logistics Team, and the third-party logistic company selected by Amazon respectively. So some recommendations, right? You can use SEN, the topic I'm sharing today, for small to medium parcel, making it easier for you to test your new product. All right. So AGL will be, for sellers who are really sending in huge like container load of inventory. All right. So based on this recommendation, if you want to test it out like a new product launch, you don't want to send in so huge of an inventory first, you can use send, right, for your small to medium product. Okay, which countries you can use these? All right. So it's available, meaning that it's available if you're selling in this store. All right, you're selling in the US, or you can use send. And then right now for send for sellers here, you can actually send from China to the US fulfillment center. All right. So in the future, more maybe become available, so do stay tuned. But as for now, if you are a seller selling in this region, which actually most of the seller would procure or source the item from China, they will be able to use this service. All right, so just to end off with this diagram again, right, this is the part we talk about today. Right, you can see, right from here, you have the option to either send it to AWD. AWD is Amazon Warehousing and Distribution. Right, it's pretty new in the sense that compared to FBA, right? So with this new option, I think I will be covering AWD in the next upcoming webinar as well, right? You can actually store, your inventory on the AWD warehouses, right, instead of sending it to the fulfillment center, right? That will also help to further reduce your operation logistic costs. All right. So coming to the end, like I mentioned, we have very useful resources from the Southern University that you should go and download. It has more detailed guides and graphics to help you to understand better what is this Amazon Cross-Border Partner Carrier Program SAN is all about. All right, so other webinars I have, if you have not registered, do register at this QR code. So I think the next one is on the 5th, which is Wednesday. I'll be sharing more about AWD and how is it compared to FBA and which one is right for you. Right, and I saw that the registrant today, a lot of you are pretty new. You just, you have not have your account or you just started selling. And I think those who have not get an account, you might be interested in the one that I'll be sharing tomorrow is how to list your first product. And it's not taking too long, to list a product, you only take about 30 minutes, right? Which I'll be able to demo with you tomorrow in less than 30 minutes. All right, and then some other interesting topic for the Opportunity Explorer on Friday. This is something that you might want to consider if you just started selling. Knowing how to use a tool to help you find the right product or even finding out what's the trend in the US store, that will really give you more ideas on how to customize your product, etc. Okay, so remember to sign up if you have not signed up for my other webinars this week and the following week. Okay, so I'm going to go through the live Q&A right now. So